Picture the morning of December 24th, 1946. It is still dark, not the peaceful kind of darkness, but the heavy, frozen kind that presses down on the streets. The war is over, but Germany has not recovered. Snow lies thick over ruined buildings. Windows are boarded up. Doors are patched with scrap wood. The cold cuts through coats that have already lasted too many winters. Breath turns instantly into white fog. This is Christmas Eve, but it does not feel like celebration. It feels like endurance. Across the country, millions of people are waking up to the same reality on the same day. Shops will close early, some will not open again for days. Whatever you do not secure today, you will not have. There is no backup, no late-night store, no emergency supply. This is not shopping, this is survival. Before sunrise, queues are already forming. Outside bakeries, butcher shops, coal depots, any place that might still have something left. People stand close together, not for warmth, but because space feels dangerous when resources are scarce. Names are whispered, numbers remembered. Everyone knows their place in line. There is no shouting, no pushing, only quiet tension. Inside the shops, shelves are thin, meat is rare, bread is rationed, coal is almost gone. If you are lucky, you collect what you ordered weeks ago. If you are unlucky, you go home empty-handed and pretend it was enough. Christmas in 1946 is not about abundance. It is about not running out. Children sense it even if they do not fully understand it. They are quieter than usual, wrapped in coats that once belonged to older siblings or parents, shoes too big, gloves mismatched. They watch adults carefully. Every movement matters today. Every decision feels final. Back at home, rooms are unheated. Ice forms on the inside of windows. Furniture has already been burned earlier in the winter. Books, door frames, anything that could become fumes is long gone. The stove is fed sparingly, not for comfort, but to prevent freezing. Food preparation begins early. Small portions are stretched. Soup is watered down. Bread is cut thin. Nothing is wasted. Christmas dinner, if it exists at all, will be modest. But the effort behind it is enormous. Mothers check pots repeatedly. Fathers count supplies silently. Everyone knows this meal must last. There is no tomorrow shopping. Outside, church bells ring faintly through the cold air. Not as a call to joy, but as a reminder of time passing. Of another year survived. Across Germany, families are performing the same rituals on the same day under the same conditions. Not because of tradition alone, but because routine creates stability when everything else is uncertain. This Christmas Eve is not remembered for gifts or decorations. It is remembered for cues, cold hands, empty streets, and the shared understanding that survival itself is the celebration. And the day has only just begun. By mid-morning on December 24th, 1946, the streets begin to change. The queues slowly dissolve, not because everyone has what they need, but because there is nothing left to wait for. Shop doors close one by one. Wooden shutters are pulled down. Signs flip to closed and will not turn back for days. The sound of footsteps fades. Germany's cities, already damaged by war, now feel abandoned by time itself. Trams stop running earlier than usual. Trains are unreliable, frozen on tracks somewhere outside the city. Those who are still out hurry home, carrying whatever they manage to secure. A loaf of bread, a small parcel of meat, a sack of coal that feels heavier with every step. People walk quickly, not from excitement, but from fear of losing heat. Gloves stiffen, fingers ache. The cold is not dramatic, it is relentless. It seeps through layers, through walls, into bones. Inside homes, the real tension begins. Stoves are lit carefully. Fuel is counted. Every piece of coal is a decision. Burn too much now, and there will be nothing tomorrow. Burn too little, and the cold wins. Children are kept close to the heat source. They are told not to move too much, not to open doors unnecessarily. Windows remain sealed with cloth and paper. Conversations are quiet, not out of reverence, but exhaustion. Food is prepared slowly. There is no rush because there is nowhere to go. Whatever meal is coming must last the entire day, sometimes longer. Soup pots simmer for hours, stretched thin with water and scraps. Bread is broken by hand, not cut, to avoid wasting crumbs. Meat, if there is any, is portioned carefully, measured by instinct rather than scale. Outside, churches prepare for evening services. Candles are checked. Not everyone will attend. Many are too cold, too weak, or simply too tired. Faith exists, but energy does not always follow. Those who do go walk through snow-covered streets in silence. Heads down, coats pulled tight. Bells ring again, echoing through empty neighborhoods. The sound feels larger than the crowd that answers it. Back at home, darkness arrives early. Electricity is unreliable. Lights flicker, then disappear. Oil lamps are brought out. Shadows dance on cracked walls. The war may be over, but nights still feel like something to endure rather than enjoy. Parents reassure children quietly, not with promises of gifts or miracles, but with presence. Sitting close, sharing warmth, telling stories they themselves heard as children about winters survived long ago. Outside, snow continues to fall. It covers footprints, cues, evidence of struggle, as if the city itself wants to forget the day. But the cold does not forget. It waits. This is Christmas Eve in 1946, not loud, not joyful, but shared. Across the country, families are doing the same things at the same hours under the same conditions. And that shared experience, more than any decoration or tradition, is what holds the nation together as night falls. As Christmas Eve turns into night, December 24th, 1946 becomes its most difficult hour. The cold deepens, temperatures fall further, and whatever warmth remains inside homes begins to fade. Stoves burn lower, coal is rationed down to the last pieces. Families gather closer together, not out of celebration, but necessity. Beds are shared, coats stay on indoors, children sleep fully dressed, hats pulled low, scarves still wrapped around their necks. Frost creeps along window frames, forming delicate patterns that feel almost mocking in their beauty. Outside, the streets are silent. No cars, no voices, just the wind moving through ruins and the distant sound of church bells calling those who can still walk to midnight mass. For many, attending is impossible. The effort alone could cost too much heat. Instead, people listen from inside, the sound drifting faintly through walls that no longer insulate anything. Inside hospitals, the night is relentless. Wards are overcrowded. Doctors and nurses work in coats and gloves. Breath hangs in the air. There is not enough medicine, not enough fuel, not enough hands. Pneumonia and tuberculosis take advantage of weakened bodies. For the elderly and the sick, this night is often the breaking point. Death does not arrive dramatically. It arrives quietly, unnoticed until morning. In homes across Germany, parents lie awake listening. Not for joy, but for breathing. For the small signs that everyone is still alive. Every cough sounds dangerous. Every movement feels like it might be the last. Sleep comes in short stretches, interrupted by the need to feed the fire or check on a child. There are no gifts waiting, no trees glowing with lights. If there is any decoration at all, it is simple. A small candle, a sprig of pine brought in from outside, not as ornament, but as reminder. A reminder that this is still Christmas Eve, even if it does not look like one. Memories of better times feel distant but persistent. People remember past holidays, full tables, warm rooms, laughter. Those memories are painful, but they also offer something else. Proof that this is not permanent, that life once looked different and might again. Across the country, millions of people are awake at the same hour, experiencing the same night, not connected by phones or radios, but by circumstance, by cold, by hunger, by the simple fact of enduring together. This shared suffering creates a quiet bond. No one speaks of it openly, but everyone feels it. Outside, snow continues to fall, covering ruins, streets, and footsteps alike. It softens the landscape, hides destruction, and makes the city appear peaceful from a distance. But inside, the struggle continues. Christmas Eve in 1946 is not marked by midnight celebrations or joy-filled gatherings. It is marked by survival, by making it through the night. And as the hours crawl toward morning, one question hangs in the air across Germany. Not whether Christmas will be joyful, but whether everyone will still be alive to see it. Morning arrived slowly on December 25th, 1946. Not with excitement, not with celebration, but with relief. Relief that the night has passed, that the fire did not go out completely, that everyone is still breathing. Pale winter light pushes through frost-covered windows, revealing rooms unchanged from the night before. Coats still worn indoors, blankets piled high, out cold in the stove. Outside, the streets remain empty. Shops are shut. Trams are silent. The city feels suspended in time. This is Christmas morning, but it does not announce itself. There are no crowds, no music, no movement, only stillness. Families wait quietly, careful not to waste heat or energy. Children open their eyes and instinctively check their parents' faces, searching for reassurance. There are no presents waiting. If there is anything at all, it is small. An orange saved for weeks, a piece of chocolate broken in half, a handmade toy carved from scrap wood. These are not symbols of poverty. They are symbols of effort, of planning, of survival. Breakfast, if it can be called that, is simple. Leftover bread, weak coffee substitute, soup reheated from the night before. Everything tastes the same, but no one complains. Complaining wastes energy. Later, the main meal is prepared, not a feast, but something warm, something shared. People sit close together, plates balanced carefully, portions measured instinctively. There is conversation, but it is quiet. Gratitude replaces celebration. Gratitude for heat, for food, for life. Across Germany, millions of households are doing the same thing at the same time. Not because of tradition alone, but because there is no alternative. This shared experience creates something powerful. A collective memory formed not through joy, but endurance. Outside, church bells ring again, softer this time. Some people attend services. Others stay home, conserving strength. The war may be over, but its shadow remains everywhere. Ruins stand unchanged. Empty spaces remind everyone of those who are gone. Yet there is something else present as well. Determination, the understanding that if this winter can be survived, then something better must be possible. By afternoon, light fades again. The cold returns. Fires are fed sparingly. Another night approaches, but something has shifted. Christmas Day has been reached. The hardest night has passed. Survival itself becomes the gift. Years later, people will struggle to explain this Christmas to those who did not live through it. There were no decorations worth remembering, no songs worth humming, and yet it will remain one of the most important days of their lives. Because it proves something, that even after war, destruction, hunger, and cold, people could endure together. Christmas Eve and Christmas Day of 1946 were not about faith or tradition alone. They were about resilience, about the quiet strength of ordinary people facing extraordinary conditions. This was not a Christmas to be celebrated. It was a Christmas to be survived, and that survival would shape the future of a nation rebuilding itself from frozen ruins.